Did you know that adding two-factor authentication can block up to 99.9% of automated hacking attempts? Join me as I take on the challenge of setting up two-factor authentication on all my accounts to protect my online identity. Two-factor authentication, or 2FA for short, is an essential component in protecting your online identity. With the rise of online transactions, social media, and cloud storage, our digital footprint has grown exponentially, making us more vulnerable to cyber threats. That's why it's crucial to add an extra layer of security to our online accounts. But before we dive into the world of 2FA, let's first talk about the importance of online security. We've all heard the horror stories of cyber attacks, identity theft, and data breaches. The truth is, these incidents are becoming more frequent and more sophisticated. In just the past few years, we've seen massive data breaches at major corporations, putting millions of people's personal information at risk. The scary part is that most of these breaches could have been prevented with basic security measures. Weak passwords, lack of encryption, and poor authentication protocols are just a few reasons why hackers are able to get away with our sensitive information. The consequences of these breaches can be devastating. Identity theft, financial loss, and damage to your reputation are just a few of the potential outcomes. In today's digital age, it's more important than ever to take control of our online security. Two-factor authentication is a simple yet effective way to do just that. But what exactly is two-factor authentication? Simply put, it's a security process that requires two forms of verification to access an account. This adds an extra layer of security, making it much harder for hackers to gain access to your sensitive information. But how does it work? There are several methods of 2FA, including SMS codes, authenticator apps, and biometric options. Let's start with SMS codes. This method involves receiving a unique code via text message that you must enter to access your account. While this method is better than nothing, it's not the most secure option, as hackers can intercept text messages or gain access to your phone. Authenticator apps, on the other hand, are much more secure. These apps generate a time-based code that you must enter to access your account. The code is only valid for a short period of time, making it much harder for hackers to access your account. Biometric options, such as facial recognition or fingerprint scanning, offer an additional level of security. These methods use unique physical characteristics to verify your identity, making it virtually impossible for hackers to access your account. With so many 2FA options available, there's really no excuse not to be using it. I want to share a story that really drives home the importance of 2FA. A friend of mine, let's call him John, was a victim of identity theft. Hackers gained access to his email account and used it to reset the passwords on all his other accounts. If it weren't for 2FA, the hackers would have had complete control over John's online identity. But because John had enabled 2FA, the hackers were unable to access his accounts even after they had his password. John's story is a perfect example of how 2FA can save you from a potential security breach. By adding an extra layer of security, 2FA makes it much harder for hackers to gain access to your sensitive information. In today's digital age, it's more important than ever to take control of our online security. Two-factor authentication is a simple yet effective way to do just that. So, what's the takeaway? Two-factor authentication is an essential component in protecting your online identity. By enabling 2FA on your accounts, you're adding an extra layer of security that makes it much harder for hackers to gain access to your sensitive information. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to comment below on your experiences with 2FA. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more videos on online security tips and tricks.